start making some yogurt today. We do this several times a week. It's great for breakfast, it's good for snacks. So usually I like to make our yogurt with Buttercup's evening milk because then I can leave the yogurt making all night and it's ready for the next morning. And you can make homemade yogurt at home whether you have a milk cow like we do or if you're buying your milk from the grocery store, and I'm going to show you how. So the first thing we're going to do is I always strain Buttercup's milk regardless if we're drinking it or making it for yogurt. So we have pretty much just a huge funnel here. And then we strain her milk twice. So we have a metal mesh filter, and then we have this isotropic filter that's, a little thicker than a coffee filter. So we put the two of them together like this so the milk gets strained twice. It just pops in the bottom here. I'm going to put that on top. And now I'm going to pour the milk that we just got from her straight in here. Okay, that's probably about a gallon of milk, and we're going to turn all of that into yogurt. So after everything drips through, we'll just take it like that. And that's the first part. I'm doing mine in the Milky because we have it. It's a milk pasteurizer. It can also be used for making yogurt, and it's perfect for this because it will keep it the same temperature all night long for me. But there are other ways you can do this too, and I'm going to tell you those when we get to that step. But first, I'm just going to put the top on it. We have a huge thermometer we stick in it so that we can have the temperature of the milk. And now I'm going to talk to you about the milk. So you can see we just milked her. It's about 92, almost 94 degrees. All right, so we're going to wait. There's two ways you can do this. If you have milk that you bought at the store, try to get pasteurized and not ultra pasteurized. And if you get pasteurized milk, you're going to warm your milk to 185 degrees. Then you're going to cool it down to 110 before you add your yogurt culture. If you have raw milk like we have, you can heat your milk to 110 degrees and then add your yogurt starter and make your yogurt from there. So I'm going to let our milk get up to temperature, and then I'll come back and share with you the next step. Okay, now our milk is at 110 degrees, maybe about 111, you can see here. So at this point is where you're going to add your starter culture. So if you bought milk from the store and you heated it to 180, 185, and then you cooled it to 110, this is where you'll add your culture. Or if you warmed your milk just to 110 because you had raw, and then you're adding your culture, you're at the same place now. And what I didn't mention earlier was you can warm your milk on the stove top. Just bring it up to the temperature you're trying to get to. Just keep stirring it and keep an eye on it. And then go in and add. So you don't have to have the Milky. We just do that because we have it. It's convenient. That's what we do. So your starter you can get a few ways. What I do, and you don't need this much, is I keep some yogurt from every batch. And then I use that to start my next batch of yogurt. If you don't have a yogurt starter, you can buy yogurt at the store. Use like half a cup of it, put it into your yogurt, and that will make, that will serve as your starter. So what you're gonna do then, this is my yogurt that from my last batch I made. You just dump it in, and then I just use the thermometer, kind of swirl it in good. And that's it. I'm gonna put it back in the Milky. Leave the thermometer in it. And I'm going to leave mine in my Milky overnight. And it's going to stay at the 110 degrees. Most people don't have a Milky. What you can do is you can take your yogurt and you could put it into a jar of some sort, some type of container, a bowl or whatever. Put it in wrap it in, sorry, this is going to be loud for a minute. Wrap it in towels, some way to keep it warm. You can wrap it in towels and put it inside your cooler just so it stays warm until morning. You want to keep that 110 degree temperature so that all of the good bacteria eats up the sugars and the whole fermenting process of the yogurt takes place. Some people will put it in their oven with just the light on, and that will create enough heat to keep it warm overnight. They have yogurt makers where you can put it in to keep it warm. So mine just goes in the Milky. It sits here, it'll keep it at this temperature all night long. We can preset how much time and all that we want on it. But what we do is I put it in now. In the morning, we'll take it out. We can keep it plain. We can make some Greek. We can flavor some. And I'm actually going to show you all that tomorrow morning when we take it out. So this is going to be breakfast tomorrow. It just sits here overnight. I mean, it's 9:40 right now. It's late for us. We're going to leave it right now. It'll just sit. And tomorrow morning, I'll show you how we make the yogurt from here. So that's it for tonight. Okay. Our yogurt has been sitting now for about 9 hours. It's best if you let it sit somewhere between 8, 10, 12. The longer you let it sit, the more tangy it's going to taste. So ours has been sitting about 9 hours. We're going to take it out, and then I'm going to show you how we can flavor it or leave it plain, do Greek, and all that. So it's still at 110. I'm going to turn it off. One thing about homemade yogurt is the consistency and the texture is a little bit different than what you get at the store. So you can look in here and see the yogurt. You can see how it's thickened up and see how it's moving away because it's more solid. All right. So the first thing I'm going to do is make some Greek yogurt. And to do that, all you do is you're going to strain off some of the whey. I want to do another video about whey. Whey is so good for you. It has so many good benefits, and there's lots of things you can do with it. But the whey is going to be what drains down into here. You just need a piece of cheesecloth and a strainer. And I just put the cheesecloth in there like that. And you're just going to dump some. Oh. So however much you want. Like, I'm going to do a few different things here. So I'm going to do some as Greek. So, you know, this will take probably by tonight. Like, I can just leave it sitting all day. By tonight, you'll have a nice thick Greek yogurt in here. And under here, you'll have your whey that you can hear draining down. So I'll try to get a video of it tonight so you can see what it looks like after that. So that's Greek. We'll just put it in the fridge just like that for the day. And I would say these are our most popular ways that what we do. We either have Greek or we just have plain generally. Every once in a while we'll do some flavors. We more flavor ours when we eat it. So we'll put some yogurt in a bowl and then throw fruit or granola in there. But you can flavor it when you're doing it too. So here's some that we're just gonna keep as plain. So you can see it's not as thick as regular yogurt, but it will also thicken up when you put it in the fridge. So here's one. So here's plain, and then here's plain Greek. Now I'm gonna flavor some. So there are a few ways you can do this. You can do fresh fruit, or you can use like preserves. When I make our jellies and stuff, I would use that, but we're all out of ours, so I've got some that we got at the Mennonite store. So let's do, alright, I'll do the one with some fresh fruit first. I might need a funnel. Alright. So here's some, and I'm going to just do, what do you want? Fresh fruit? Well, let's do, so these are blueberries I had frozen, and I took them out last night and let them thaw, and then I just pretty much mashed them up a little bit, and I'm just going to dump them in here. and just kind of stir it up some. And you can add more or less, or how many. I mean, I didn't measure it. I just a cupful. And so this, I'll put a lid on it. This will be blueberry yogurt. So just like that, no sugar, nothing, and it will thicken up when you put it in the fridge. But the texture is still going to be a little different than what you would get at the store. So we've got Greek, we've got just regular plain, and now we have a blueberry. And then the last one I'm going to make is using like some type of jelly preserve. This is a Christmas jam, so this one actually has strawberries and cranberries in it. So this is going to be I'll take the big tablespoon and plop in there, and then I'll pour some yogurt in. Just a little more left in the bottom. Good morning, Caroline. Good morning. Caroline is talking over there. Alright, so here's that's pretty much all of it. I've got a little bit left in here. So when we started last night, I said it was about a gallon of milk. So if you look, we got at least almost a half gallon here, a quart of the blueberry, some of the grapes. I mean, you can see it makes a lot. So I did that tablespoon in the bottom, and I'm just going to throw another tablespoon in here. And then you need some way to stir it up. I mean, you can just use your spatula. So, like I said, you can do it this way. We really don't eat it like this a ton. You're getting a lot more sugar in here, obviously, because of the sugar from the jelly or preserves or whatever you're using. We really don't do this much. We also don't add maple syrup or honey to ours, but you can. So you can just pour in some maple syrup or pour in some honey if you wanted, or sweetened a little bit. I might would add just a little bit more to this one, since it is a half a gallon almost. Just kind of, you can see where it'll go in and settle to the bottom, but you can just stir it in there to where it's, there you go. Alright, so here's all of our yogurts, and that's just from one thing of milk. And you can do this through store-bought yogurt. We talked about that yesterday. Or you can do it with your fresh yogurt, your fresh milk. So let's go over these. We have, here's the Greek, and you can see now where some of the whey has strained through. Oh, you know what I didn't do? Which I always try to do, so I don't forget, is keep my starter for my next batch of yogurt. So I'll just take this out of the plain that we poured in here. So I'll just take this is like a quarter of a cup, put it in there, put the lid on it, and I just keep that separate in the fridge, so that's ready to start my next batch of yogurt when we do that. Alright, now our Greek yogurt has been sitting all day. So I'm going to show it to you really quickly. What you can see here on the bottom is the whey that strained today. You can see it's that yellow color like I showed in the quart jar we had earlier. And then this is the Greek yogurt on top. So you can see how what it is just the yogurt with the liquid removed. You can see how it just peels off the cheesecloth. And get all of that yumminess off. So there is our Greek yogurt. And then once you do that, if it's too, if you want a little bit more liquid in it, all you have to do is take some of your whey and just add back to it and just mix it in. If you want it to be a little soupier, I guess, I would say. But that's it. That's what your Greek yogurt will look like after you have strained it. So now you've seen the whole process. We started last night, finished it up this morning, did the flavorings, let the Greek strain, and this is the end. And so now we have lots of yummy yogurt. Thanks for joining us. Don't forget to hit subscribe.